helpful, but once you're recovered, then you forget about those good things that you should keep doing because they might help avert some other health crisis. So I'm here to try to avert a future health crisis and actually just feel good. I just feel so much better when I'm meditating.
Nice, Barbara. Thank you. Before the next person goes, I just want to say that I am going to record myself, so I'll be I have my iPad beside me to record me, so that if you have to miss a week, that you can go back and have a look, or if there's something you're like, geez, I want to look at that again. How did we do that again? You can go back. I have a YouTube channel, so you can go back and have a look on YouTube. So I've just started the recording now, so welcome to those who missed today, and if you're reviewing. Okay, so, and if you feel, if you don't want to speak and are worried about the being recorded, then that's fine. Just give a pass. That's okay. All right, but your faces or pictures or anything won't be on this. Okay, just your voices. Okay, who would like to go next? Just checking.
I'm Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
I started meditating quite a bit during COVID just to keep in good space, and after having SCAD, having lots of anxiety, so I found it really helpful, and I just wanted to take advantage of a group situation, and really anything the Healthy Heart program does, I try and take advantage of it. So.
Great, thank you, welcome.
Hi, this is James. This is my first time trying meditation. So again, just looking forward to learning something new.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
Hi, my name is Liliana. I have done meditation, but not very consistently, and I would like to do it every day. And after a very scary SCAD and situation I had in January. I think anything that can help to reduce the stress and anything that is good practices to be healthy, I guess I definitely want to introduce in my daily practices.
Nice. Okay, thank you. Welcome.
I don't know if you can see me. Hi.
Hi, Sally.
I'm Sally, and I really believe in preventative medicine, and I really don't know anything about meditation. I just thought, it's something I should know something about. I have atrial fibrillation, which is quite common, but anything that can help reduce or keep that at bay, I would be grateful.
Good.
I can go next. Oh.
No, it's okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shweta.
Okay, my name is Norma, and I have done a bit of meditation on and off. I also take advantage of what the program is offering, but I also would like to get in the place in which I stick with it, because I tend to do it and then forget about it.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Norma.
I'll go next.
Okay.
My name is June, and I have done a brief time when I was meditating during COVID, and I really enjoyed it. But I have such a busy schedule. It's hard to fit it in, but I am going to make a point of doing that because the results are really beneficial, and I think it's a really important part of someone's life on a daily basis. And I have a lot of stress, so I was really thrilled when the opportunity came up to take a meditation class.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I am Shweta, and recently I just, as one of the persons just said, it was an alarming situation. So for me, it was just last year. Next week it will be completing last year when I was diagnosed with SCAD issue, and now I really wanted to work on myself. So just wanted to have all the opportunities so that I can work on myself and can be on the back to normal life. So, well, I'm into the rehab as well, and now with you all. So hopefully we'll get better soon, all of us. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Shweta.
Thank you.
I will go next. My name is Branko. For whatever reason, I joined this Zoom meeting through my wife's Zoom platform. For that reason, her email address is shown. I hope I will fix it next time. This is my first time. I never did any meditation before. I hope I will learn few things that will help me to relax. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, Franco. Welcome.
I'm Orest. I'm just starting cardiac rehab, and with this and other programs. Had a cardiac stent in June. So yeah, just want to learn more about meditation. I think stress management's important. I have like the rest of us, busy life, busy job. So just want to see what, I just assume meditation is going to be a positive addition.
Hope so. Good. Thanks, Orest.
Gwen, how do I share? Like, how do I make my face go on the screen?
Just a minute. Who is asking me that? Julie?
Roseanne.
How do you show? Wait, I don't even see you here, Roseanne.
Do I see a share screen chat react?
Oh, I see you, Roseanne. You're on here. So, so I'll just tell this just in case somebody else isn't having this. Depending on what kind of a device are you on, Roseanne?
A laptop.
Laptop. So on in the top right, if anyone else is wondering how to see, like I can see everybody at one time. So if you're on a laptop, you can. iPad, you can see several people. But if you go up to the top right corner, there's a little thing that says View.
Yeah.
Tap on that and put Gallery.
Okay.
And now can you see everybody or more people?
Yeah, I can see everybody.
Okay, good. All right.
So, I'll just introduce myself. So I tried meditation about 18 years ago when I was first diagnosed with high blood pressure. But now as part of the cardiac rehab program, I want to be able to lower my heart rate, control the stress level, and just overall take advantage of the program as much as possible.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Who else is still? Nick, I think you joined after I was talking. That's okay.
Can you hear me?
Pardon me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
People are just introducing themselves and just saying if they've done meditation and what they're hoping from the group. Do you?
Okay, well, I'm coming from the cardiac rehab program. I had a heart attack in January out of the blue. I lead a pretty healthy life, so it's quite a surprise. I lead a pretty stressful life. That's about the only bad thing, because I'm healthy in most ways. And I'm just looking to relieve some stress in my life, so I'll give meditation a whirl.
Good. Okay. Good. Well, welcome. Hi. Go ahead, Justice.
Right. I'm Justice. I had a stent put in December, and I'm coming from the cardiac rehab. And I've done meditation before, but whenever you find one, you do it until you get bored and just start skipping it. And so this is a fresh restart for me. I'm looking forward to it. It's nice not to have to be in charge, and I can just surrender to it and just go through the process and look forward to it.
Good. Well, welcome.
Hello, my name is John. I've never really done meditation, but I'm very open-minded and I'm receptive to learning new skills. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do so.
Great. Welcome, John.
I'm Myrtle. I had a scared event in April out of the blue. So now I still have some chest tightness now and then. I don't know whether it's due to stress or whatever. So I haven't done any meditation before. So I just hope that this is going to help calm me down.
Okay, great. Is there anyone else who hasn't shared yet? Introduce themselves.
Sorry, I'm on a phone. Hello, I haven't done that before. Looking, but try everything or out of the program.
Sorry, I missed the last part of what you said. There's a bit of an echo.
I'm just looking to try as many of the whatever's available from the program as I can.
Great. Nice. I like that attitude. I've heard several people say that it's just want to take advantage of whatever is offered. So that's good. You can walk away with, anything that you find valuable. Mm-hmm. Who else hasn't introduced themselves yet?
I'm Doug, and I just had open heart surgery in July. And I haven't really had any formal training in meditation, although I remember when I was younger I did do some, but it was a long time ago. I was a high school teacher and I had lots of stress. And I was high school teacher. And I'm now retired, so that's all I'm doing right now is working on my health. To get something out of this.
Good. I hope so too. Okay. Now, is there anyone else? Let's see. Julie, did you already check in? Or maybe you don't want to. That's totally fine if you don't want to. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, Julie, if we missed you, you can just let me know somehow and we'll check you in. Mm-hmm. Anyone else that hasn't spoken yet? I think everyone else has. Okay. All right, well, welcome, and yeah, I've written down all the things that you were saying, and I hope that you can at least walk away with something I mean, the way I teach is really to get the basics down, but sometimes you might learn something new. Because I come from a yoga background, there's certain parts of meditation that are maybe more important, more significant to me. But I want to make this really just pretty easy as well, so that you can sort of get things going again or get things started if you've never done meditation before. Okay, well, let's start with alignment. So I always begin with alignment because meditation is really about it's partly about moving energy through your body, or just letting energy flow through your body, and what that does is it reduces your stress level overall, right? Just to let things sort of percolate. If you think about a busy life, if you have a busy life, not everyone does, or a busy mind, one of those two, there's always something swirling around in the mind. And if we never stop, except when we go to sleep, to let that slow down, it's really hard to calm our energy enough to really tune into ourselves. So we can have a better memory with meditation, intuition. We can check in with ourselves and just say, like, I know this. Blood pressure can be reduced for sure with meditation. I used to teach meditation before COVID in the classes. I used to do a little bit of a stress education piece, which was about just reducing your stress level. And I would always begin or end with just a short, even visualization or meditation. And then everyone would go get their blood pressure taken, and everyone's blood pressure would be lower. So it was so neat to just see the evidence of how much our mind affects our body. And the case managers would look over and say, what are you doing over there? Everybody's blood pressure is nice and steady. So that's good. I realize some people's blood pressure are low, but it really has a tendency to sort of balance things out for people. But calm your mind, and that feels really peaceful when we can calm our mind. It feels really nice. So it's nice to do that at least once a day. If you can do it more, great. But once a day is really nice. Okay, so let's start with alignment. Sorry, I'm gonna stand up and move back. I just have to move the computer back so you can see me standing up. Let's see if that does the trick. I cannot use my glasses. Okay, so if you can stand up and join me, then go ahead and do that. I'll just move back a little bit further. Does that work? It's tough to get both my feet and my head in the screen for the live. Okay. So, can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, good. So, beginning with the feet. So, it's really important to have your feet aligned. So, even though when we meditate, we're sitting, I feel like working on our whole body alignment is really important. So, I always start with the feet. So, the feet often we have this little pad on the side of the foot, which as we get older starts to move out from underneath our feet. And that throws our whole body off, the alignment of our entire body off. So what I always start with is just setting the foot down. So if you need a chair or something nearby, please have a chair nearby. Sit the foot down on the side. And then just so that you're almost pushing that little pad on the side of the foot underneath, back under the foot again, right? Just teaching it, this is where you belong. You're meant to give me some cushioning, and now you're moved right out. So just setting your foot down on the side, lift your toes up, and then roll your foot down flat and set your toes down. So it's gonna feel a little bit weird if you're not used to having that piece tucked under your foot. And then just do the other side. Once you've done one side, set that pad down, kind of squish it under there, lift your toes up, and set that foot down. So your toes, if you can make your toes as wide as possible as you set them down, that is also good for alignment and prevents all kinds of foot problems, right? If you have bunions or things like that, just spreading your toes really wide is really good for us. All right, now the next thing is your knees. So I'm just gonna move my feet closer together. Sorry, I should have told you that. Just readjust your feet so they're right next to each other. Now, what you might notice, everyone's body is different, of course, but if you look down at your knees, you might see, like mine, I have a little space between my knees. So I'm always working at pushing my knees together. If I use because my knees, my legs kind of go out like that. If I exaggerate, you can kind of see they're going out. So I want to push them in and together, twist them around a little so that they're nice and straight. But everyone's different, right? Some people's knees are doing the opposite, right? Where their knees are really touching and your feet are far apart. So see if you can just adjust your legs so that your legs are straight as you can. You're working towards that, getting nice straight legs. And you might think, why would we do that? But your muscles are pulling on your bones, and your bones are moving all the time, right? You notice that your bones look a little different than when you were 20, perhaps. So they're always moving, and we can encourage them to do what we want them to do. All right, bring your hands onto your hips. And you can stay facing me, but if you just look at my hips when I show you, we either have a tendency to do this, where we have a big arch in our back, or a tendency to collapse so that the back is rounded. So whatever your tendency, just feel your hips and see, what's my tendency? So round your back and then tip it up, and then you can see where your hips need to stay. Okay, so just try and put them in that neutral position. So we got our feet, we got our knees, our legs, and our hips. So really when we're sitting, we're mainly doing from the hips up, but I want you to know how to align right from the bottom all the way up to your head. The next spot then is your rib cage. And again, you can just stay facing me. You don't have to move. Don't ruin all the things that you have going already. And again, what we can do is, what our tendencies might be is to either pop the ribs up or collapse them completely. So you want to set them somewhere in the middle, right? So they're not popping out of your stomach, ribs, that area, and they're not fully collapsed where we can't find them at all, right? Set them somewhere in the middle. So I got my hips aligned. Now my rib cage is nicely aligned. Next is my shoulders. All right. So what I usually have people do, this is a real easy technique, and you can do this as many times a day as possible. I'm always doing this. So bringing your elbows in close to your side, just let them hang nicely. Your palms facing up, and then bring your hands out to the side. And that brings your shoulders back. And so it kind of puts them in the spot. So make sure not to pop your ribs up, right? You don't want your rib cage popping up. You want your rib cage to stay down and those shoulders to head back where they used to be probably many years ago, because most of us are doing so many forward things in our lives that our shoulders like to come forward. So now, without disturbing your shoulders too much, trying to leave them in the place where they are, gently bring your hands down and let your hands relax. So see, mine do this too. I'm still working on this, getting my hands, because now my hands stick out. But if my shoulders were back there in place, my arms would be in a different spot. They would know where to go, but I'm teaching them. All right, the last place of alignment is your neck and your head. And so you want to have your chin nicely aligned so your head isn't doing this, right? So if we collapse our rib cage, our hips, our head's gonna start doing this. And when we get tired, this is what we tend to do. So you've got your body aligned. So just make sure that your head isn't sticking forward. Just push it back, straight back without putting your head up. You want to put your chin straight back. So most of us have a little bit of a tendency to push our head forward with just life activities. So just push that chin backwards and that resets us. Good. So now, just close your eyes if you can, and if you feel comfortable, and just take a breath and just let your body remember what it feels like to be aligned. When we're aligned, we're not blocking off any part of our body. We're opening it up. You know, when you do a good stretch and then you feel something moving through, you're just like, oh, that feels so good. Something is moving through. That's just sort of energy moving through your body. And that's what we want. We want just things to move through us. We don't want them to get stuck and blocked and these patterns start to form. Good. So just letting your body remember what it feels like to be nicely aligned. And you can practice this anywhere. You can, when you're waiting for an elevator to come, or waiting at a bus stop, or waiting to meet someone. I'm always standing doing this. In a waiting room, I usually don't sit down because I sit down enough in my job anyway. So I'll stand up and do this. Part of it. Yeah, okay. So now that you've let your body remember this, I want you to find a place to sit down. So some of you have meditation cushions or somewhere that you've got set up. I'm going to sit on my yoga blocks today. So and when you sit down, I want you to try to be as comfortable as possible. I'm going to move my computer closer so you can hear me, because I'll try to talk a little quieter as we go into meditation. So ideally, again, listen to your body, but ideally when we're meditating, you are sitting on the floor. But if you can't, it's okay. Don't worry. And if you feel like your back, you're not used to sitting up and using your back, most of the time we have a chair or something. So I want you to be close enough to the wall that you could lean back if you need to, but also you can sit forward and try and help strengthen those muscles in your back, so that eventually you don't need to lean back. So that's part of what we're doing, just finding a really good seated position. And when I was talking about your hips, our tendency when we sit is for our hips to collapse backwards. So you might even want to sit kind of on the edge of something, or have your seat, the back, like your sitting bones raised up, so that it helps your pelvis tilt forward a tiny bit. So just a little cushion, a little half cushion, or something you can just sit on the edge. I'm kind of sitting on the edge of my yoga blocks so that my body is tilting forward. Now, not everybody's legs look like mine, because I do yoga, my legs are fairly flexible. But if your legs are sitting up like this, like that's as far as they want to go, then put some cushions underneath. So if your legs are really high, you might need a couple cushions. So prop those up so that you're still sitting in the seated position, but they're resting. You don't want them to be hanging, because they're going to get tired really quickly if they're just hanging there. So, you can start with that layer, but as you keep going, it'll get easier and it'll feel better. So you've got the back close if you need a little break. And while we're meditating, take a little break if your back is sore, and then come back off the wall and see if you can sit up. And the other thing that happens when we sit in this really good posture is we start to feel stronger emotionally too, because we know, oh, my body's got this what's called sometimes core strength, right? I can hold my body up, and it actually feels really empowering. All right, I'm going to mute all of the microphones now as we go into the meditation. Whoops. Hold on here. There we go. Okay, just in case someone's phone rings or something, or someone dog starts barking, or all the different things that can happen when we're at home. Okay. Good. All right, so we've got our cushions or whatever you need. Now, realign your body in this position. Pelvis getting a little help by tilting forward. Rib cage is not sticking out or collapsing. And your hands, you can do whatever feels really comfortable for you. I've started doing mine. I used to really like doing mine in a circle. So putting one hand on the other and putting my thumbs together, and sometimes put something to rest them on so I can still keep my shoulders back. But lately I've kind of been doing, well, maybe I'll use a cushion. I've kind of been doing this one where one hand, each hand is on a knee, or I'm putting a pillow so I can keep my shoulders back. And I make a circle to the first finger or the second finger. And these are called mudras. Each mudra is meant to bring certain energy, but I won't get into that too much. Unless someone's interested, you can email me and let me know if you want to read more about mudras. But just putting them in a comfortable place, either on your lap. If it's on your lap, I would suggest a cushion so you can keep your shoulders back, or on your knees, on a cushion or not. All right, so we're just going to do a short meditation today, just to introduce meditation, and all the other meditations will be longer. But what I want you to do is just take a nice deep breath. And exhale. And just notice your breath. And if you want, you can say to yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. As you're inhaling, saying I'm breathing in. As you exhale, saying I'm breathing out. Or you can say on the inhale, so, and on the exhale, hum. So, hum. And what that means is I am that I am. I am that I am. So, hum. So you say that in your mind. And if your mind wanders, just bring your attention back to your breath and just repeating the words, so, hum. And if those thoughts come, just notice them. And label them as thoughts. Those are thoughts. And I'm just going to let them come and let them go. I don't need to hold on to them or push them away. Just let them come and let them go. And bring your attention back to your breath. And let's go into silent meditation. just begin to bring your attention back into the room. And then just begin to move your fingers and your toes a little. And move your body in any way that it feels good for you after sitting for a few minutes. And I'm not going to talk too much at this point. I'm just going to let you stay in this peaceful place. If you want to continue meditating, please feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to send you some information via email. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week. And if you have questions and you want to stay on the call, you're welcome to do that. I'll unmute everyone. Namaste, everyone. That means the divine in me salutes the divine in you. Have a lovely week. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.